shadows wide, willows whisper of darkness deep and wide. In the forest, there is no place to hide. Strange paths. Tonight I fear that I will not survive the dying of a light.
This is The Dying of the Light, a series of the Starfall Collective. We're going to switch up the order just a little bit so that we can roll. Josh was adjusting his camera. So that we can roll, do some bookkeeping, some random based bookkeeping for some stuff we need to work out. Pat, who plays Toll, is going to be a little bit late tonight, so we thought, hey, let's take care of some stuff if you won't mind that we take care of. Matt, why don't we do your zombie first? You've got a zombie Quagoff or Quagoff, whichever.
I do.
From a few nights ago.
Yeah, and zombies have 3d8 plus 9 hit points, so I thought it would be good since we seem to be in a situation that, fingers crossed, hopefully will not call for my poor zombie to need to know how many hit points it has, but might. It would be good to roll those hit points. So here,
let's do it.
While you're doing that, I'm going to switch devices because apparently I cannot use my earbuds on my phone. So I'm going to try to run my phone's internet to my computer. I'll be back on in like 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
That's going to be 15 plus 9 for 24, which is just a little bit better than the standard 22.
Great.
You need all them hit points.
Which is nice, I suppose, because I myself currently only have 15 hit points due to the lingering effects of some ritual poison night I took into myself for magical purposes in a previous episode.
But the good news is it's not permanent. Well, I guess depending on how well you fare.
Right. Well, Diamondback's got.
He's scrappy. He's been around.
A few tricks up his souled sleeve.
Just sorting some dice here. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Is that the only thing you need to roll for your?
That's all.
All right. Let's go ahead and start rolling some of the items you found. Does that sound good?
Sure. I mean, so we rolled the robe of useful things before, and I used it and attuned to it. These are not going to be. We're just going to know what these are, but we're not going to have them. They're just stuck in a big sack or something.
You, the players, will know. The characters won't.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I got a couple things that don't require attunement.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be fun for the listening audience, more than just me saying, hey, there's a list in your inventory.
Gotcha.
Yeah, actually, the robe of useful items does not require attunement.
Great. Okay, let us do it to it. I'm going to create, let's see, new.
Speaking of lettuce, do you remember the Mech DLT?
I do not.
Saw an ad for it. I remember.
What's the D?
I don't even know. I don't understand. I was not around when it was like a thing you could buy. I was not buying stuff at McDonald's when it was a thing you could
Like
buy.
bacon, lettuce, and tomato DLT?
Well, so it is. The LT is I think McD is in McDonald's.
Yeah, right.
Lettuce
Oh,
and tomato.
McDLT.
Because the Big Mac doesn't have lettuce and tomato.
All right.
But yeah, basically it was just the two. They had two compartments, and the lettuce and tomato was on a bun in the second compartment, so that it wouldn't get, I don't know, warmed by the thing.
Great.
But it made me wonder, like, what's the deal with fast food? Because I've bought hamburgers all sorts of places with lettuce and tomato, and never thought, oh man, these things are hot. I hate it.
That is intense. I had no idea. No, and I've never heard of that I know of. Maybe I did, but I was too young to care.
Yeah. I think it was like late '80s, possibly, and I think it was very short-lived. And then also, it was one of the last clamshell styro something, because apparently shortly after that kind of styrofoam
Banned.
Yeah, probably.
All right. No, I had never heard of it that I know of. Speaking of,
So who's going to take
things,
down? Yeah, whose inventory are these?
I will.
Okay.
Right.
So
right now, I've got
just to
them
let
in
our-
my bag of holding.
Yep. Just to let our listening audience know, the way I've got these randomized, I actually have a big list of like all the canonical D&D things, but they have a bunch of stuff in them like, I'm just going to read a couple of random ones. Ammunition +1, ammunition +2,
I've got a sling. I mean, I could use ammunition +2. It would just be rocks.
I'm game for that. I'm totally game for that, but I think those are like one-use items, right?
Yeah, but you would, you would give a pouch with like 20 or whatever.
Okay. Well,
no, actually,
I'm up for that.
So for things like slings and arrow and bow and arrows, I think there is a rule about picking them up after a battle. It's like you pick up half of them after the battle rounded down or something.
Yeah, I'm game, but the actual descriptions of these say once it hits a target, the ammunition is no longer magical.
Oh,
just as
nice.
an example for the ones I was reading. Anyway,
don't give us that terrible stuff. It sounds horrible.
The importanter point is I also have an online generator, and so I thought I would generate a bank of them and let y'all roll, and then we would go, hey, look at that, there's a thing.
Nice. I have a question. How does the bag of holding work with its like 85 potions? Are they just like jangling around in that pocket dimension, or
I think it has ethereal
fancy
hay.
librarian that hands them out?
No, I
Sir
think
Robert
it's
has the right of it.
ethereal foam or hay. You just stick it in and it kind of stops wherever you stick it. I don't know, something like that.
I do know
Million tiny little hands that gently cradle the objects.
what happens. Million tiny hands.
Yes, indeed.
Millipede. Except, what is the Latin for
Milliman.
hand?
Manos.
Manos. Hands of.
Towers of tomes have been filled by mages arguing on the very subject.
Can
Let's
we
go do it.
Can we bump
we'll
up
just-
Dwight's volume at all?
I'm here.
Probably. Let's see. He's right here. Let me.
Maybe it's using.
Did you grab his head and drag him closer to the mic?
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Good.
The differential between Josh's volume and Dwight's is pretty big delta there.
Is that more appropriate for me? Did I minimize the delta?
That's probably a little better.
Test. 1, 2, 3. Mike, will you say some stuff?
I will say some stuff.
All right. According to my
Two.
little equalizer, you're coming in at a good volume. and so am I.
I
Is it
too would
something
like
you
to say
guys-
some. I too would like, if you don't mind, at an
It sounds good to
appropriate
me.
level.
So just to let you all know, I have this little generator that I have that'll roll up some items. It lets me roll up and control the relative frequency of mundane, common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary. I have turned off mundane and common, so it's uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary. I have unlimited the item cost in gold, and I have turned off poisons, potions, and oils because that would be the other place that you got that. And also, I have turned off mundane objects like whatever, but it does include some
Silver
gold.
coffers.
Yeah, there aren't. Also, I turned off money, so there's no that like bag of 50 gold. All right, let's do it. You've got 11 items left. 4 of them you've already done. Will somebody tell me those 4 items? I remember there was a cloak of.
Yeah, Diamondback's robe of useful things was one of them.
Tink has a cloak
I
of
thought you
useful-
got that somewhere else.
Yeah, that was from many days ago, or that was before the long rest. This is the after the long rest stuff.
Yeah. So I got a robe of
No.
stars
That's it. But they're not stars here because y'all don't know what that is. but-
because I got the
immovable rod.
If I remember.
rod when Matt got the
Robe of useful things.
I just got the robe of stars and the of etherealness is also in my bag.
And then I've got that we've only got 10 more.
What do you have to?
I got a cap of water breathing.
Sorry, you have a cap of water breathing,
Mhm.
and what was the other thing?
Plate armor of etherealness.
That's right.
And I have that in my inventory.
And
And
there's one more thing.
Patrick,
Cole has something.
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
did you get a magic item last week at the end of the episode?
I not like at the very end. I got the marvelous pigments near the end.
That's what it was.
Marvelous pigments. And that's
Okay,
in your
the
inventory?
robes-
It is. I added it. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
The robe
And then
of
I also have the
stars-
decanter of endless water, the boots of false tracks, and the candle of the deep.
Nice. Okay.
The robe of stars is not called a robe of stars for our purposes canonically. I had called it a robe of sparkles, I think, or
Indeed.
glimmers,
Indeed.
something like that.
Sparkles
Because y'all
is
don't know what stars are.
sparkles is
Could be
appropriate.
fireflies.
The robe of fireflies. I like that.
Oh, I think I had said robe of sparks. That sounds right. Something like that. I'll come up with a good
Nice.
name and edit it into it. Okay.
Way to
so
set us up for a
we
natural
got-
partnership with Sparks Energy Drinks.
That's what I was going for.
Mhm. Or Sparky the Clown.
You've got 11.
He's on all the podcasts that I listen to.
Is he? Is that
Yeah.
a real thing?
Yes, it's Sparky the Clown.
All right, gross. Let's do some rolling. Why don't you grab for me, each of you, a D12?
D12.
You can find a
Just see if you roll,
D12.
'cause there are.
Well, I accidentally rolled. Do you want me to keep that or keep?
Doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna randomize my list each time, so that'll be just a fun way to do it.
Well, I just rolled a 7.
Patrick, this is just to explain to them. This is just in order to have the rolling on record on the recording because it's kind of fun to see the randomness of it. You know this, but your characters don't.
These are those other items that we got that
Yeah.
we didn't sit down and identify.
Okay, let's do it. Why don't we just go around and Dwight, what did you get?
I got a 7 in a pentagon.
All right, and Matt
6.
and And Josh?
I got a 1.
1.
All right. And Pat?
I also got a 1.
Okay. Pat, just re-roll that one for me.
All right. 9.
Okay. Let's see. Great. And in no particular order, here's what those are. I say in no particular order so that there's no sensation of them being claimed by one particular one of them. The Eun Stone, I suppose is the way it's pronounced, of mastery.
How do you spell that?
IOUN Stone of. Yeah. It is a legendary, wondrous item. A stone has AC 24, 10 hit points, and resistance to all damage.
What an amazing stone.
It orbits your head and is considered to be worn while you do, and has some fancy stuff on it. Okay. A robe of eyes. It's adorned with eye-like patterns. When you wear it, you gain. You can see in all directions. Advantage on perception checks that rely on sight. Dark vision, which here doesn't do what it would normally do. You can see invisible creatures and objects, as well as into the ethereal plane. This is a powerful object.
Dang.
Which one is that called?
The robe of
Is there
eyes.
some kind of level limit or something?
Yeah, so Robert, you allowed legendary items.
I don't really know what legendary.
No take backsies.
in D&D terms.
There are like 5.
Stick to your
Yeah, no
guns.
take backsies. There are like
No,
5 levels, and you disqualified the 2 of them that you would give
What are
to
you,
adventurers
chicken?
of our level, and you left in the 3 of them that you would give to adventurers level like 10 and up.
Okay.
See, this is basically the balloon
This is up to
payment
you.
schema of magic saturation.
He's been depriving us of our magic abilities for so long
That
that
now
now
he's just showering us with magic out of sheer guilt.
You should be giving us like common and rare magic items.
Okay.
Matthew?
If you were to follow the Dungeon Master's
Matthew!
Guide.
What
I mean, I'll take the robe of eyes. I'm down. Give me the robe
You
of
don't even
eyes.
know that the robe of eyes exists.
Here we see the rules lawyer in his natural habitat.
No, I'm not.
Many
I'm
would
just-
think that a player
in this position would encourage the
but notice the rules lawyer shoots himself in his own foot.
So Robert can
Such as his
do it
commitment to his
however he
craft.
wants
Of pedantic ass.
and the material the material in the Dungeon Master's Guide on this subject is suggestive. It's not part of the rules, really.
How dare you call
that
his
makes it
recommendation
worse.
suggestive?
So, are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
As they'll ever be.
Here they are. I changed them slightly. I still left in legendary and very rare, but I diminished their frequency in this little thing that I can do the settings on relative to rare and uncommon. Fair enough?
Fair enough. I rolled a 1.
All right. So instead you have, I just re-rolled. I just redid the thing and then it's the same things you already rolled.
Oh, do we not have the Iron Stone of Mastery and the Robe of Eyes?
No, you don't.
Aw.
Okay, Wind Fan. While holding this fan, you can use an action to cast a Gust of Wind spell. Save DC 13 from it. Used once, the fan shouldn't be used again. Not couldn't. Shouldn't be used again until the next dawn. Each time it's used before then, it has a cumulative 20% chance of not working and tearing into useless, non-magical tatters. All right? So that's a Wind Fan. There is an Ioun Stone of Protection. That came up this time. It is named after some god. Let's see. When you use an action to toss one of the stones into the air, it looks like it's basically the same.
Yeah. So mastery increases your proficiency bonus by 1. I'm guessing this one does armor class by 1.
Yeah, or something like that. +1 to AC. Okay, well, there's a different iron stone. You also have an elemental gem. This gem contains a mote of elemental energy. When you use an action to break the gem, an elemental is summoned as if you would cast the conjure elemental spell and the gem's magic is lost. And the type of gem determines it. I will roll a 1d4 for that right now. There we go. It is a blue sapphire, meaning it's an air elemental. Woohoo!
Yay.
So you do still have an iron stone, but just not the one with mastery. It just was a different flavor.
Can that elemental gem fall out of bag of holding and crack open on the floor next to it for this combat?
It's unlikely. And then finally, you have something called an ever-smoking bottle. Smoke leaks from the lead-stoppered mouth of this brass bottle, which weighs a pound. If you thick smoke pours out from it if you unstop it for a 60-foot radius from the bottle. It's heavily obscured. Each minute the bottle remains open, the cloud radius increases by 10 feet to a maximum of 120-foot radius. It's huge.
What happens if you open that one and the water one and put their mouths together?
I would guess it is like a Mentos thing with Coke, and they just shoot off in each direction.
Nice.
A moderate wind can disperse the smoke after a minute, and a strong wind can do so after a round. That's interesting because y'all just got a wind thing.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm just going to write
And
this down.
an air elemental with attacks with.
Smoke and wind,
Right.
natural enemies to the end.
And so good. I'm going to re-roll that, and we'll have you roll again. And a wind fan. That was the last one. Great. All right. Y'all ready to roll? Roll me a D12 again.
D12.
I've re-randomized the list. Did
I got
yeah, D12.
10.
Ha. I got an 11.
12.
Ah!
9 again for
All
total.
the good luck.
9.
Wow. Okay.
Uh,
Pat, what'd you get?
I got 9.
Really? Y'all, 9? That is 9, 10, 11, 12.
9 through 12.
straight on the river.
That's right.
Seems like it should be
you
rewarded
got-
with another roll on the legendary table.
You got a periaptive wound closure. While you wear this pendant, you stabilize whenever you are dying at the start of your turn. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain points, double the number of hit points it restores.
Mhm.
That's fun.
So you would never have to take death saving throws with that?
Apparently. No. At the start of your turn, if you take damage during it, you would still take a death. There's like a couple of extra rules where you have to do some kind of save. Lantern of Revealing. While lit, this hooded lantern burns for 6 hours on a pint of oil. Bright light for 30 foot, dim light for additional. Invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they're in the lantern's bright light. You can use an action to lower the hood, reducing to a dim light in a 5-foot radius. It's fun. So it's kind of a detective viz type of thing. An object detective viz. What's that? What did I
I'm
do?
going to attach that to the street lamp in front of Diamondback's tower.
Say it again.
I'm going to attach that to the street lamp in front of Diamondback's tower so that
Mm-hmm.
when he leaves, we can see him.
Might be a good idea. Defensive against the dark arts.
You got a golden lion, a figurine of wondrous power. It's a
Nice.
statuette of a beast small enough to fit in your pocket. If you throw it to a point on the ground within 60 feet, it becomes a living creature. If it's occupied or if there isn't enough space, it doesn't become a creature. It just kind of stays its thing, I guess. It's friendly to you and your companion, understands your language, obeys your commands. If you don't tell it to do anything, it just defends itself, but nothing else. Okay. Let's see. It becomes a lion for up to an hour. Once it's been used, it can't be used again for 7 days.
It says it always created in pairs. Is there 2 of them there?
In this case, no. All right.
Leo,
He's
here for a good time, not a long
Um,
time.
Yep. You have a rope of climbing. This 60-foot length of rope weighs 3 pounds, can hold up to 3,000 pounds. If you hold one end of the rope and use your action to speak the command word, the rope animates. As a bonus action, you can do a bunch of other stuff. So good, rope of climbing.
Attach that to the immovable rod.
And we get 4 more. Somehow, is that right? I don't know. We had 15 items. So yeah, roll again.
7.
So we only need 2 more, strictly speaking, because 4 of them we already. Oh no, sorry, 3 more. Because if there's 15, that's 10. No. There are 15. We identified 4.
Right.
And then we
Right,
identified
no.
1 more, so we were down to 10. So we just did 8. So we
Yeah,
need 2
there's
more.
3. I've got them on a spreadsheet. I can
Take
I
that,
can
Matt.
hear their number.
Who's rules lawyering us
Set
up
of magic items
now?
Glad that everybody put all of this straight. I rolled a 7.
Okay, Matt or
I rolled
somebody
a 3.
else. All right. And either Pat or Josh.
I got a 10.
Yeah. So, okay, you got a 10. Okay, great.
Am I muted?
No, you're there. We can hear you.
Okay.
And
We're just ignoring you. Maybe we're muted. Maybe he can't hear us.
Or maybe he's
Can't hear
ignoring
me.
you.
I can hear all of you.
Ignorance abounds. I really feel like ignorance should be what it is when you are ignoring someone.
Yeah.
Would you be able to just say ignorance?
The Ocho.
Yeah. But what would you call that?
They did the Ocho a few weeks ago.
Unaware.
But I mean, could you call it?
You know they do it
That's
once
Just
a
be
week.
an 8.
And
Yeah.
not anymore.
Patrick, I could do with more volume from you, from your
Yeah, I
microphone.
can't quite hear you either. Okay, here's what y'all got. All right. Ring of Warmth. While wearing this ring, you have resistance to cold damage. In addition, you and everything you wear and are carrying are unharmed by temperatures down to as low as 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Circlet of Blasting. While wearing the circlet, you can use an action to cast a Scorching Ray spell with it. When you make the spell's attacks, you do so with attack bonus of +5. The circlet can't be used that way again until the next one. And then you got a wand that I didn't like, so I'm going to re-roll just for fun. And slightly.
Somewhere out there, we have a very powerful wand that has never been used unless the other side used it. Although I feel like they probably left it behind.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just rolling a couple of times until I find one that's on the powerful side and kind of nice.
I also have some various oils that I've been trying to work in, but I just can't figure out a way. It's like sit down and cover yourself with this oil for the next hour, and then you can do something really cool for 10 minutes. And then I just haven't found a time when that would be useful. My imagination is not strong for those sorts of things.
Okay. Let's see. Hey, what's up? You doing
I
okay?
never had any true skill for discerning the appropriate time to oil my body.
Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Pretty
Fair
much.
enough.
Oh no.
Fair enough.
It takes 10 minutes and then you gain the effect for an hour. So they did have those switched.
I was gonna say that's
still,
pretty brutal.
It'd be nice if it was like 10 minutes and you have the effect for 24 hours. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the next 60 rounds of combat, guys, I'm gonna be putting oil on myself, so you guys should protect me.
I'm very vulnerable.
All right.
Calculus time.
You ready? Find a good one.
I'm ready for a good one.
Ring of water walking.
No
Tight.
All right. Okay, that's great. And I will also just not randomly, well, yes, randomly, but not in this mode. You had a boatload of potions, so I'm going to roll those separately, and we'll talk about them not on the air here. Okay, let's just jump into it.
Assuming we're still alive.
Assuming you are still alive. If not, I will tell your ghosts.
Inkatink is in the middle of doing the thing to teleport us.
No,
Yes.
don't do that.
That's what he said. But Diamondback interrupted and said, "Wait, have we fully looted this place?" So here's what we're gonna do. Diamondback, just picking semi-randomly. Roll me a d10.
Here it is. It's yellow.
Okay.
It came up 9.
Inkatink. So doing this spell takes 10 rounds. You are 9 rounds into it.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what the D was. If it was a D1, if you'd rolled a 1, you would have just started. It's a 9, so you've got 1 round of action left, Inkatink, to finish placing the circle if you want to.
Gotcha.
All right?
Okay.
So that's prior knowledge that you would know. You would all have seen him scribing and placing some gems.
So he's 6
And
seconds from
basically-
being done.
He was just about to be done when Diamondback said, "Wait, have we looted this place?" And he stopped for a moment. He says, "I stopped for just a second." Then the guy comes in and interrupts you right as you're finishing. So that's where we are.
And we're all holding onto the torch.
You're holding onto the torch, so you've been helping. You've been walking around so Inkatink to like hold a hand and scribble. And y'all are in the center of the room. Your torch, you can see the exterior edge of the room as though dimly lit because of the radius of the torch and how far that vision goes out. The room is not illuminated, of course, partially because of the extreme mist and partially because it's a black flame on this torch. So,
And it seems like this four things that came in are totally fine with seeing us.
I will summarize. That does seem like that, and I will summarize where we are. This is The Dying of the Light, a series from the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich stories in a fictional world we've been developing together for a while. You can find out more about the collective as well as the stories we're telling at thestarfallcollective.com. Previously on The Dying of the Light, on their way out of the ancient citadel ruins, the quartet of adventurers decided on a whim to explore a little more of the walled city. On the left, they walked along what seemed once to have been a grand road along the outer wall of the city's inner keep. Traveling in the darkness, they passed the crumbling remnants of buildings and lots long since overgrown. At the end of this boulevard, amidst the wild flora, they found 3 smallish buildings still intact. Investigating, it turned out that 2 of them were storehouses having a cache of dozens of potions and 15 magical items. Inside the largest of the 3, found an open space with a domed roof and a teleportation circle, partially and poorly configured. As Inkatink prepared the sigils to return back to the Black City, Diamondback called for him to halt, wondering if they had fully looted this place. We just found out from a die roll that Inkatink was 90% of the way through this process, and he has a few seconds left, just one turn left. When they stopped, two figures emerged from a previously unnoticed door towards the back of the auditorium-sized room, and speaking in an unknown tongue. They were accompanied by two giant spiders. The two parties seemed equally surprised by one another. I'm Sir Robert, a father and entrepreneur, and the host of this season's story. With me tonight are a few friends playing the characters in this drama. Please say your name, something about yourself if you like, and your character's take on this city of stone, the cache of items you found, and the current nascent encounter. Let's start with Matt.
Hey there. I am Matthew Talamini, a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com. And I play the shirtless wizard Diamondback, currently not shirtless, wearing a robe with lots of pockets on the outside, which is an awesome robe. And I suppose I've been feeling a little bit of that dragon lust, heart, greed, Smaug like, just liking all these magic items we've got stuffed in our pants pockets, trying to waltz on out of the shopping mall with a bunch of CDs in our underwear. The security guard's giving us a look now. So, I think these strangely colored beings and their spiders, I hope that they're far enough away that we'll be able to teleport out of here before they get to us.
All right. And how about you, Dwight?
I am Dwight, a flaneur and scalawag who lives in this area near me. And Belvari, the character I play, has been ready to go for a while. Especially once we found this little way to warp back, but was totally fine walking back after our second long rest in this darkness. I've also made friends with a unicorn. At least I think I have. You know, I'm not sure if I'm tricking myself into believing I am, but.
All right. Pat, how about you?
Yeah, my name is Pat. I'm playing
Wait,
the
Pat,
character
I can't
Toll.
hear you. Can you turn your volume up?
I moved my mic so I could finish my dinner. I'm playing the character Toll. I think his mind is kind of running wild with all the sorts of stuff he can do with this marvelous pigment. The power to just draw things into being is very powerful. And I think he's also a little concerned that these new adversaries might be close enough that they can follow us into the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's not positive that they will or won't.
And maybe not that they're adversaries.
Yeah, he's going to operate on that assumption unless proven otherwise.
Fair enough. Discretion is the better part of murder. How about you, Josh?
Speaking of discretion,
My name is Josh. I am a software engineer and a Bigfoot enthusiast, and I play Inkatink, the Kinka who has many voices but not one. And Inkatink holding, and it is full of swag. This is his dream to have a whole half dragon, part raven's dream to have a stash, a hoard. So
Your mother was a bowerbird.
right now, that's right. So it's kind of questionable whether or not Inkatink's just going to go smoke, fly away with all the stuff. We'll see. But he is currently having a crisis of mind because he is in the middle of a ritual with the teleportation circle, and now these beings have shown up.
So he is, at the moment, trusting
the competence of crime and fellow accomplices
in the darkness.
Diamondback at all to protect him and give him a perimeter to finish his arcane business. Because
He doesn't want to have
to drop
the spell and start it over
We've never talked about what it would look like
to delay the completion of the spell.
Although, presumably, way through the process of putting their gems and sigils into this teleportation circle to go somewhere, somewhere we don't recognize. Inkatink filed away the exact
sigils that they had written on top,
and he's since wiped them and rewritten them. Memory of things like that. So
yeah,
so he's at the mercy of
his teammates and is hoping that they can
get out of here scot-free and quickly with the goods, with the booty.
All right. Well, let's jump into the action here, if action indeed there is. We just rolled initiative. Here is the turn order. I'm just going to read you the turn order so you can be aware of what's going to happen to remind everybody of what we rolled. Giant spider number 1, giant spider number 2, Inkatink. The second man in black, the
Giant cat.
cowled figure, that's right. Then Belvari. Then the first guy who came in and called out in his language, in some kind of what seemed like alarm.
Dread language.
Then, that's right. Then Toll. And then Diamondback. Actually, Diamondback, do you remember what you rolled for initiative?
No, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Apparently, for some reason, I had typed in -12. I'm guessing that was supposed to be 12.
Probably 12.
Okay. In that case, you're actually going to go right before Belvari. I just was looking at the. Okay, so yeah, these guys come in and you hear them exclaim in a language you don't recognize that has a lot of kinds of sibilance in it and
Shouts.
yeah, but not German-like shouts, more like, I don't know. Anyway, I won't get in trouble. The giant spiders you can see just in the very perimeter because they're on the walls, and they clamber up to. Both of them do. They clamber up at different spots on the dome above. They're not directly above you. They walk about. I'll tell you. They climb 30 feet up the surface of wall and then dome. To get directly above you, they would probably need to go another 60 to 70 feet. If they were to get directly above you, it doesn't necessarily look like they're trying to. I'm just trying to give you a sense of the scale. Sorry, go ahead.
How so they're some amount less than 60 feet from us.
You're standing in just about the center of the center of this room, and it has about a 60-foot radius. It's not actually a circle. It's got this uneven pentagonal sort of shape, but you can see all of the walls, but not necessarily every corner. It's right at the end of your field of vision if you stand exactly in the center. Inkatink, these two spiders have run up. These two people have come in and spoken in some language. What you can see, Inkatink, they're right, again, dim light at the edge of your vision, and you see almost in a kind of black and white, but their skin is not like the kind of, ebony skin you've seen of people or the dark green you've seen of some orcs. This is some other kind of thing. If you had to make a best guess, you would say it could have a hint of purple in their skin, but it's like a blackness with purpleness.
Are we not mostly seeing black and white?
You are, but it's like
Gotcha.
in the same way that moonlight in real life makes it like muted colors and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not pure black and white, but
Yeah.
you don't really see vibrant things. So Inkatink, what do? It's your turn.
So, my first question to you would be, how would I adjudicate the desire to suspend this spell for one round? Not let it go collapse, but to just hold it without complete. Is that something that I could make an Arcana check to do? Is that something that I could choose to do?
No.
Is that not an option?
In this world, as we have been doing it, the spell can you can delay probably. It's not like you have to feverishly do it. You could probably do it next round without issue. However, if somebody messed up any of the little coal scratches you made on the ground, you'd have to do the whole thing over. So if anybody ran at you and trod on your glyphs.
Touche. So at the moment,
you can extend
okay.
by.
But at the moment, everybody in my
I'm not telling you something canonical here. I'm just telling you this time a way you can think about it, because we haven't been really rigid about the time exactly. You could be finishing up the last one this turn, do something, and then get back to it really quickly. I'll let you delay around if you wanted to, but you'll have to either finish or abandon it.
When would the portal open based on his? He's got one turn left to do that. Would it be at the end of his turn, or would it open and he could walk in?
I would say he couldn't walk into it. Well, actually, that's a tricky one. I would let you, because the time frames of this motion is a little funny, and I've described it as swirling open and stuff before. I would say Inkatink, if you wanted to do something like finish this with your action and then hold your movement till it was opened, right? It'll open and you could go through, right at the end of your turn. I'll give it a few seconds.
Inkatink is going to.
So is there a area of exposed earth between the teleportation circle and the next closest guy?
No, depending on what you mean by earth, this is a finished floor.
Okay.
So in that case,
okay. So in that case, Inkatink is going to finish the spell and then the ever smoking bottle and throw it.
You don't know about that yet. You don't know about any of those.
Oh, I don't know about it yet. Touche. Okay. In that case, I can't use mold earth.
And the ever smoking bottle wouldn't help anyway. It's complete darkness.
Complete darkness, and there is.
Yeah, I don't know how they see.
And
I think Inkatink is.
World right now.
Okay, I think Inkatink is going to finish the spell that he is casting, and then he's going a sorcery point,
and then he's going to spend a sorcery point
to comprehend languages as a bonus action. So and what they're going to hold his action to go through after the last of his friends have gone through.
Okay, and so the trigger for you going through is the last of your friends have gone through.
Correct. So if
everybody else goes through this round.
Okay.
And I guess with
I will cry out to the a chaos roll. Roll a d20 for me, if you would.
D20. Wow, that
Yeah.
was a good chaos roll. It was cocked. 20. 20, Josh. I rolled
Okay.
a 20 for you.
Okay. In the voice of the orc,
from the Iron Bell.
you hear him say, "Spolash will hear of this." What I did with my free action. So I cried that out, and I can now understand what they say.
Okay. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I have to familiarize myself a little with this.
And this portal will be open until the end of Inkatink's next turn. So, like, if not everybody goes through Inkatink, and that person will be. Well, Inkatink might then go through next turn, but that other person will be left behind.
How many sorcery points do you have right now?
You're muted, Josh.
I just had a rest recently, so I had all.
Which is how many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 5.
Okay. You spend 2.
Ooh, and you know what?
I'm going to spend another sorcery point to give comprehension to
Diamondback.
because I can spend another.
Meta magic thing.
Oh, I'll spend. Yeah,
So I have the two things. I have a Quicken
Magic.
spell.
and yeah,
I have Quicken spell.
and so
Quicken spell allowed me to spend 2 sorcery
points
points
to change the casting
time to a bonus action,
and spell meta magic let me spend
and 2 points for a
first level spell. Oh no!
It's just one more to get it on a first level spell.
And I can target diamond. And I guess you know what? Target everybody. So now everybody can understand what they're saying. I just burned all my meta magic points, but now what they're saying. They can't understand us, but we can understand them.
Twinned spell. When you cast a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have a range of self, you can spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level. Comprehend languages is action a range of self, so you can't use it for comprehend language.
Oh no! Crud. Okay, well,
Okay.
then it's just me.
Good. So, yep. Great. Then now it is the. Sorry, hold on.
Really? I have a different definition of twin spell.
Spell? That's weird.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
No, I don't have anything about.
Not being able to do it on self.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't have a range of self things.
I just looked it up.
I saw what you meant. I just missed it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's see here. The guy who came in second
Hadn't said anything yet.
has not said anything at all yet, and quickly runs to you. And let me think here. You know what? I'm going to do a little chaos roll myself. He says something again in the language you don't understand. Sabalalazia type of things. All right.
Can you tell me?
But does Inkatink understand him?
Say it again.
I have
Is it-
comprehend
it
languages
can-
cast on myself.
Yes, I remember. Yep.
Okay, sorry.
And he runs towards the. He runs towards the group of you, and Inkatink, you understand that to mean, and the rest of you don't understand that to mean something like, "What is this?"
Gotcha.
Right. So he's run 30 feet closer to you, approximately,
How close is he to us?
about 30 feet. Away. Y'all are in a 60-foot radius room, ballpark. You know, it's got some angles and stuff.
Right.
Diamondback, you're next. You and your zombie Quagoth will go right after you.
Right. So,
You don't know what he said.
I don't know what he said.
And the zombie can't see.
So I'm going to real quick. I'm going to stand, or I guess I have to stay near Inkatink. So what I'm going to do is,
They're next to it anyway.
right, we're all holding on to the thing, so.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, real quickly, and you know this already. You all will know this. The teleportation circle lasts for 1 round.
Yeah.
So
you got to go through it right away.
this is your chance. Next round, if you haven't gone through, you're not through.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to real quick just pop mage armor on myself.
Okay.
Bip. So now my AC is 13 plus my dex modifier. It's now 16 instead of being 13.
And the circle,
Don't you-
the portal has now fully formed.
Don't you
can I-
Cameron me, Talamini. Don't
Get left behind here.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I didn't understand. The portal opened. Josh finished
Yeah.
casting the
It
spell.
will open and it will close before you get to have another turn.
It's getting
Oh.
low. This is your turn.
Oh, I'm definitely going in it for sure.
Okay.
Before I do that, I'm yelling in common. Wait, I'm gonna try. Oh, I guess I don't. I'm gonna try.
You just heard me say Spolash
No,
will hear of this.
Right. Okay, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I see the portal open. I see this guy coming towards us. He's saying stuff. I'm freaked out. I go right through the portal. Bip, I'm out.
Matt.
Gone. Done. Through.
Roll me a d20 to see whether your zombie Quagoth can probably. It'll try to shamble in, but it also can't see and doesn't know what's happening. And you're suddenly your presence is gone, right?
Right.
So roll me a d20.
7.
It did not.
Eh.
It was a 50-50. 10. Well, whatever.
They're very
10 of
expensive to make, but not as important as my friends or magic items.
Quagoth down.
Maybe the real 5th edition is the friends we made along the way.
It's going to continue to try and protect me in there.
Yeah.
And us. I mean, because it knows that my friends are allies and are to be protected. So
Yeah.
if there's trouble, it
Added
might
it
still be able to help out.
Belvari, it is your turn.
How difficult would it be for me to hop on the unicorn's back and ride it into the portal?
The unicorn, I'll tell you for narrative color only. It's a Lex. I was going to have the unicorn go after you, but really at the same time as you. As soon as the unicorn's aware of this, it is making motion already to go in.
Already going.
It understands the nature of this thing somehow.
Nice. then I believe I am going to just
Hop on Toll's back.
I missed.
yeah. Can
I'm a
I
Toll boy, baby.
put a 20-foot cube on top of us, but not on the circumference and not on us?
A 20-foot cube of what?
Just a. Is there a 20-foot cube of imaginary 20-foot cubedness?
Yeah, you could. Let's see. Yeah, you could do that.
My God,
so-
trapping them with a form, they'd need a philosophy degree to get out.
Oh my God, I was thinking that exact same thing. I was just listening to a podcast on that.
Well, I didn't listen to a podcast. That's just how broken.
You mean how
Um,
perfect?
I believe I will do that because it will also possibly slow them down enough. So I'm assuming the spiders will not be in that cube,
They would not. Yeah, that's right.
but the two,
You can get one of those two guys
one of the two guys.
because one of them ran 30 feet, so he's now 30 feet ahead of.
Gotcha. Okay, so
You get the one closer to you.
the closest one to us will be the front, or or the back will be inside the circle.
The back of the.
How big is the
cube.
teleportation circle?
It's about 15 feet diameter, right?
Okay,
So it's
okay.
from the center of the room, go 7 feet out. That's the edge of the circle.
Gotcha.
From the center of the room, go 30 feet. That's the guy.
Gotcha.
And from the center of the room, go 60 feet. That's the first guy and the edge of the room.
Okay, so I'll put it like so that as much of it is between us and the 30-foot guy, but not so that it comes over the edge of the
Into the
teleportation circle.
teleportation circle.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. I got it.
And I will cast
And it's a 20-foot.
20-foot cube.
Okay.
I will cast Erupting Earth, which will cause that 20-foot square to become difficult terrain.
Okay.
And he will need to make a
So you want it to be on him.
dexterity saving throw
All right.
of 14.
Okie dokie. Where's my bag? Here it is. And he makes a 22.
So he takes half of the 12. So we're gonna have 2 more of these.
Why are you shooting at them?
7 bludgeoning damage.
Give me 1 second here. All right. I'm reading his stat sheet.
Gotcha.
Give me 1 second. And I'm going to do a 15. As the floor starts rumbling and shaking under his feet, he lifts about 5 feet off the ground and hovers.
Gotcha. Is that why he only takes half damage?
No, he doesn't. I rolled to see, and he was able to, as a reaction for this, cast the levitate spell,
Mm-hmm.
and so he, I think, doesn't take damage because he's not on the ground.
Gotcha.
But it's still hard terrain.
So actually, it does say each creature in that area
Oh, it's a cube.
of the cube. Yeah.
Okay, I'll work for that. Since it wasn't a square on the ground that you were doing.
Yeah. The square is just for the
Mhm.
difficult terrain.
He took how much?
7.
Great. So as he levitates off the ground, but let's say that prevents some of the damage. That's why it's half damage, say. But he, is shaken by blocks of earth roughly jutting out and hitting him.
And then I
Jump in.
jump into the portal.
And you enter in almost simultaneously with the unicorn. It's just barely behind you. Its horn next to you as you both.
Gotcha. It's not poking me in the back.
Mm-hmm. The other guy dashes towards you, but around the difficult terrain of the earth. So he's going to have to go further around it, right, to get. So he goes the 30 feet, 25 feet or 20 feet towards you to get to where the difficult terrain is and around. He is somewhere behind the portal where you can't see, but he wouldn't be able to necessarily get all the way to you. You don't see him get all the way to you. Toll, it's your turn.
I'm going in the portal. I'm not messing around.
Okay.
I'm guessing the people through the portal are releasing the torch and sort of, or maybe. It's
Yeah, I'm letting it go and going through. I'm assuming there's light on the other side.
You're right there at the edge of it. So to let go of it is to be falling into, jumping into the portal. Inkatink, your friends, the last of your friends has now gone through. You have a triggered reaction here that you can go through as well. What do you do?
Inkatink looks at the two humanoids and says, "Dong, dong, dong."
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
For the reaction,
I take a free action?
Yes or no to whether you do it.
Yes. Can I use a free action?
You used your free action. Remember, you called out.
Already saying that thing. Okay, so yes, he uses his reaction and he winks at the guy and he dips through.
All right.
And then he
Pick a
goes
verb.
out,
Duck, dodge.
Dip, dive, dodge. I think he dips in.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to, let's see here. So now it is, let me roll to see what happens with these guys here. No, the first spider, you don't see more of. The second spider also rolled a 10. You don't see more of him. Inkatink, your turn, but you're inside the portal. Sorry, cat on the table.
Did if they can hear, can they hear out behind me? Because you're behind me, Inkatink makes the sound. The guys that
We left behind on the other side of the portal. Either way, as he's going
through, as he's walking, he's going
dong, 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 like an iron bell. It says the iron bell since the
regards.
Okay.
It's really trying
to cement the idea that this is the iron bell that has stolen all this stuff
from these very scary looking people.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, the portal starts to close behind you, Inkatink. As it does, the first figure that you saw, the second figure that you saw, the one who started levitating when Belvari came in, suddenly materializes next to you in the portal. You recognize the way he did it as the spell Misty Step. He is in with you, and the portal collapses behind him. Okay. Yeah, so y'all are now in the beginning of this tunnel that you're familiar with. It has this gray swirling mist all around you. You have escaped, but this figure is there with you. He manages to get in, and give me 1 second here. I'm going to look. Okay, and that's all. Diamondback, your turn. You see this guy. Or maybe you don't, depending on if you turn around. Yeah, I'm sorry. Inkatink's first. Inkatink, you're in the back. He has come in the midst of you all.
Right next to me. Is this guy wearing armor?
It is much brighter. You're not holding the thing anymore, but now you can see like normal. It's that kind of thing. Is the guy wearing armor? No.
Is
he's
this
not.
guy wearing
He
armor?
is wearing... No, he's not. He is wearing a cloak of some kind.
And his skin is like black and purple.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
floating off
shimmering
the
kind of,
ground,
like...
and he's black and purple.
Okay. Cool.
Well,
What?
Inkatink has already cast.
Inkatink has already cast comprehend languages, so he can understand
the
the guy.
guy. So
now
he's going to say to him, "Why did you follow us? And who are you?"
In two different voices.
All right. The guy does not seem to respond, but you can tell he is somewhat wounded, or he's been hurt.
Huh. Okay.
Well, I can't imagine that he followed us
Are
just
we
to be
still
friends.
in
So I
initiative?
suppose that
We are still in initiative. I think it takes turn.
Okay.
Who's
So
after Josh?
the guy doesn't say
anything to me. So
Yeah, so I'm just gonna. So I'm gonna cast magic missile at this guy.
I'm sorry, is it Inkatink's turn right now?
It is Inkatink's turn.
Okay, I thought somebody said it was Diamondback's turn.
I might have missaid that, but
Okay.
Inkatink would...
Sorry, go on.
Let's see here. I need to
cast. Golly, you can cast this at
5th level. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh,
18 damage.
What are you casting?
The little off of my chest, the robe. I'm
Ripping one
off.
You're attuned to that.
Am I not? I mean,
Yeah, that was the thing they attuned to previously. That was the one thing y'all each got a chance to attune to.
Gotcha.
Okay, and it was, you said 18 damage, 17 damage?
18.
18 damage. Okay. Great. This guy is severely wounded and is like... He has come in and said, "What is this?" And then y'all attacked him and have attacked him again. He's quite badly hurt. I'm trying to look at this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, okay. This guy who's levitating off the ground and is, sort of staggering by what has just happened to him, starts muttering a set of things that Inkatink, you hear them, but it seems to be random words together. He's clearly casting a spell. He casts angrily, he's like glowering at all of you and casts, waves his hands, does, normal spell stuff with what has become normal to you, not component based. And issuing out from him is a poisonous yellow-green fog mingling with the fog of the teleportation chamber, of the teleportation tunnel. He has cast Cloud Kill. I need from each of you to roll me a Constitution savings throw. And I will try to figure out what the DC on that is. I'm
It's a
sorry.
9 for Toll.
19 for Belwari.
9, 19.
5.
What is, and just to remind me, guys, what is, how
Unbelievable.
do I know the DC level of this for an NPC?
They have like a proficiency.
Cloud Kill won't have it. It'll have a it'll have an AC, which it will say on it.
Okay. When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there, that creature must make a Constitution savings throw.
Oh, so not immediately.
Yeah. So
Oh, you're
let's
entering it
see.
for the first time as it, I think.
It's gonna be the monsters. The monster's magic that it used to cast it, plus, so it's going to be like 8 plus the monster's proficiency bonus plus the monster's spell casting ability modifier.
Got
So
it.
if it's an int caster, then it's going to be like
It's 12. I see. Spell DC 12 right on that part. Okay.
none of us is
Okay.
going to make it.
This says enters it for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. So I think it would be.
Oh, okay. What I was reading just says enters it for the first time. Oh,
Good.
on a turn. Okay,
Diamondbacks.
gotcha. Or start your turn. Sorry. Okay, great. It is a DC.
Good news,
Gentlemen,
What's the good news?
So on each of our turns, when we start our turn, we'll need to roll.
Yes. You re-roll. I'll let y'all roll.
That-
Yeah. It's a DC 14.
Yes.
There is a yellow cloud. It is not obscuring your vision. You can still see through it somewhat, but it is.
Yeah, but
poisonous.
we just entered the spell's area for the first time.
No, it says when you enter the spell's area on a turn
Yeah, first time.
or starts its turn there.
So you can't enter it on your turn and not get that damage.
It's an area effect.
Okay.
It's like rolling
rolling ball of fire.
fire, rolling fire.
Diamondback, it's your turn.
Am I starting my turn in this fog?
You are indeed.
I guess I have to make the saving throw then.
You do. DC
It's a
14.
Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Uh, 13 plus 2 is 15. So I still die from half damage.
Let's find out. It is half of 5d8.
I wish that I had cast a different spell at the beginning of this or anything.
We got 5, 4, 1, 2, 7. That's 10 plus 9, 19. So you'll take 10 damage.
Oh boy, I'm not dead. Wow.
All right.
Next,
Oh, sorry. It's your turn, Diamond.
it's my turn. Let me
Yeah, I thought you
just
died. I was like, okay.
let me just take some take some damage there, and then I have to make a choice. It's a hard choice. Here, I need to look one thing up.
If you hit him, then he will lose. Well, he'll have to test to lose concentration if he loses concentration, and then I guess it goes away immediately if he loses concentration.
So, I have this spell, Sir Robert, Mr. DM, called Gust. It's only a cantrip. It's not very powerful. I want to ask you what Diamondback would think Gust might do to relieve us of this cloud kill effect. So here's what Gust does. You seize the air and compel it to create one of the following effects at a point you can see within range. One medium or smaller creature that you choose must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed up to 5 feet away from you. So I can blow creatures away from me 5 feet with this Gust spell. Or you create a small blast of air capable of moving one object that is neither held nor carried and that weighs no more than 5 pounds. The object is pushed up to 10 feet away from you. It isn't pushed with enough force to cause damage. Or you create a harmless sensory effect using air, such as causing leaves to rustle, wind to slam shutters shut, or your clothing to ripple in a breeze. Do I think that this mere cantrip could blow the cloud kill fog away from at least me, or do I need to do something more drastic?
Roll me an Arcana check with a DC 10, and I will tell you, pass fail, what seems to be the thing.
Awesome. That's going to be a 14 Arcana check.
Okay. Sorry, I realize I'm doing a lot of rule reading on this. I'm out of my element a little. So thanks for being patient. It lasts for the duration or until a strong wind disperses the fog,
Right.
ending the spell. Its area is heavily obscured.
I don't know if this gust cantrip would count as a strong wind.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Okay, awesome.
This is not a strong wind.
In that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my action to use my my staff, my staff's power, which is my staff's new power is to turn me into a snake. If you recall, you gave me this power, Mr. DM. And so I'm going to turn into a giant coral snake. Just you see snake moves.
Sorry, go ahead.
You see cool snake moves, ninja moves, and the sweet robe is like flapping all up around him, and you can but you can still see his torso through it because it's flapping, and there's hand signs and snaky stuff, and the staff is heavily featured, and then boom, boom, and I Jafar into a giant, brightly colored coral snake.
Okay, and Diamondback, that sounds great. Just to let you know, this cloud of fog, yellow-green fog, is within a 20-foot radius. So you could get out of it by going further down the tunnel.
Right, and I do that too.
Okay.
I move. I move. I use my move to go 30 feet further down the tunnel. But now I am a giant coral snake with 90 hit points instead of a weak little wizard with 5 hit points.
10 feet on each of your turns.
Sorry.
Just so you know. And the fog will follow you at 10 feet around. It's rolling out that way.
Right.
Okay, that sounds good. How about then it is the turn of Belvari.
Gotcha. I rolled I think 19 save.
Okay, you're good. You take half damage, and I think I'm supposed to keep the same roll as how much damage this cloud does.
10.
So it's 10 damage for the half damage. It's 19 if you take the full damage, 10 if you don't.
Gotcha. Figure out where that button is. There it is. 10 damage. Done. Belvari will.
You're there in the midst of this.
Yeah, missed. We're in a room that's of similar size. No, this room is more like just the size of.
You're in a tunnel. It's the fog tunnel. So you can run far and get out of here. Like you can.
Oh, this is the tunnel.
This is the teleportation tunnel.
Gotcha. We're not home yet.
Yeah.
Belvari will. How close? So the thing will possibly get. I guess it didn't take its opportunity attack. Does it get an opportunity attack on each time we leave its?
Y'all aren't within 5 feet. Y'all are kind of in the tunnel.
Gotcha.
But, you're a little bit in. You're still within the fog.
Gotcha. I will move. Oh wait. So Matt has 90 hit points now. So yeah, I'll go ahead and go 60 feet. I'll run.
Just dashing all the way down.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt, are you going to take an opportunity attack on Belvari? I'm just kidding.
Not unless he wants to hallucinate real good.
Toll, it's your turn.
Would it be rude of me to ask for a 5-second recap?
Nope. I'll totally do that just before your turn, so we can do a whole recap.
Okay.
1 sec.
Okay.
Totally your turn.
So did I take damage when I did that first roll and it was
No, I had
Okay.
misread the rule. You should re-roll now
okay?
a
That was
con
what
check
I thought.
on a DC 14.
That was a 22.
Okay. Half damage, you take 10 damage total. Can't believe y'all are all getting this on a DC 14. I'm all right. I'm not objecting. I'm surprised.
It's a nasty
Um,
spell.
It is.
It is that, yeah. I am going to take my Morris staff and thwack this guy with it.
Okay, do it.
And that's in my actions, and now Beyond is being screwy. Okay. Shoot. Sorry, that was a damage roll, not a. That was a 12 to hit.
It does not hit. You swing at him, but he levitates there off the surface of this cloudy floor, and he just deftly dodges out of the way.
Darn.
Are you going to go down the tunnel where the other guys are to get out of the cloud?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. The unicorn is hurt badly by this cloud.
Wait, I'm sorry. I always forget to add. I think I get a +2. Yeah, I get a +2 to that. So that was not a. It wasn't a whatever I said. It was a whatever I said +2. So it was a 14.
Okay. It still doesn't hit.
All right. Worth mentioning.
Yeah, absolutely. The unicorn is hurt badly by this cloud, and is it did not make its con saving throw, and it staggers. And I'm going to give it a. You know what it's going to do? It's going to attack this creature as well. It clearly does not like whatever this creature is, not just because of the cloud killer. It just is very offended by it. All right.
Well, then so am I.
The unicorn bats at it with its feet, but is not able to hit it either. And then it runs the 30 feet out to get, out of the cloud range still. Inkatink, what has happened while you were distracted by all the fog is that this guy, this robed figure with purplish black skin, Misty stepped in, levitating there, and angrily, after you attacked it as well, angrily cast Cloud Kill, a spell that some of you have heard of, none of you have seen. This is a high-level spell for the kinds of spells y'all can cast. And Diamondback he got hurt by it and immediately turned into a snake and slithered far away. Belvari tore out of here, getting as far as he could from this poisoned cloud. Toll swung his staff at the floating figure, failed to make contact, and then also ran to exit the range of this cloud of poison. And then the unicorn also tried to attack it and couldn't. And yeah, there you go. Inkatink, why don't you roll me a con saving throw?
Inkatink rolled a natural 20 plus 6 is a 26.
Okay, so take 10 damage. And what do you want to do?
So that guy is still alive. The guy who Cloud Kill. Inkatink is going to move away from him towards the direction that all of his friends are moving, and then cast Fireball. So this guy needs to make a DC 14 Dexterity saving throw.
Alrighty, where's my die?
There it is.
Huh. Somebody. There we go. That's fixed.
Oops. Sorry.
He did not make it.
Okay. I just lost the ability to use my laptop with the hotspot because I exceeded my 5 gigabytes of hotspot data. So give me just a second as I pull out just a couple more dice. Okay.
Need the internet to roll dice.
Roll dice.
Oh, that's a long echo.
Wow. 25, 27, 37, 39 damage. Goodness gracious. I rolled a lot of 6s.
All right.
I'm not anywhere near
yeah.
this thing, am I? I'm 30 feet away from this guy at least when this happens, right?
Yeah. You're about
Okay,
45
good.
feet away. Yeah. So give me 1 second here. Your fireball hits him. You said 39, right?
Yeah.
All right. Your fireball hits him, and it's absolutely devastating. He, everything he's wearing, everything about him ignites. He catches on fire and burns to ash right around you. When the flame dies down and the incinerated yellow fog dissipates a little, mixed with the fog on the floor, there's barely anything left to find.
Nice.
All right.
Because I had another one up my sleeve if I needed it, but okay. That's good to know. Wow. Okay. I guess if there's like any ash of him left, Inkatink scrapes up some of it's all been blown away, even the ashes. I vaporized him. You're saying I've vaporized the man. Full the rock.
I'm okay with you interpreting it that way.
Wow. Nuts interpreting. I don't like that. That's not good at all. Okay.
Are we out of initiative?
Can I make an arcana check to see? Can I make an arcana check to see if I notice that? Because if I've never seen anyone incinerate to ash from a fireball before, then can I make an arcana check to see if I suspect shenanigans that he's cast a spell to get away? Okay, I kid you not. I swear to you. I rolled another 20. So I got a 20 plus, I think I've got like I don't even know if I have a bonus to it, but it's at least a 20.
All right. You glean that some other magic happened at the same time as the fireball.
Nuts. Dang. Oh, you're the worst. Too crafty.
Is this teleportation
All right.
tunnel magic?
All right. So now,
All right.
Diamondback the Snake, you are here with Belvari, Toll, Inkatink, and the Unicorn. And you're out of initiative.
Let us head down the tunnel.
We continue back towards home and safety.
Are you going to stay in snake form, Diamondback?
Yes.
Might as well.
So the cloud clears, and you all take just a moment of like, wow, that was intense. Inkatink, do you say anything about what you noticed?
Yeah.
It's okay
I
with me if you
say
don't,
no. Yeah. He pulls everybody aside and tells everybody before they leave. Another spell was cast.
Do you
There
tell us
was
what
no
they were saying?
What?
Do you tell us what they were saying?
They cast spells. I understood nothing more.
and things, and you understood them.
They cast spells. Didn't I? That isn't that all I understood them to say? They just cast a spell. That's the only thing I heard.
Yeah, you heard like some random literal words that he was saying. That's how that spell works, but comprehend languages. But he didn't seem to be making sentences and stuff. He was doing some spell casting words. So yeah, Inketing tells you that some other spell was cast or some magic happened really right at the moment of that fireball, but he knows not what. Diamondback, you're still in snake form. Belvari, you have dashed past, so you're now a little past them, but you come back and I'm just gonna color
Stroll to the
and it appears that the danger is over. The unicorn is still there, and it got hurt pretty badly. It's wheezing from the poison cloud. And Toll, you were able to get out. You didn't land any good hits on him. He was floating and hard to hit physically, but you gave it a good shot. And
Yeah, I scared him though.
That's right. And the old man next to y'all says, "Wow, that was really something."
Hey, old man, where'd you come from?
Do you say that?
Yeah.
He laughs and says, "Oh, here and there. I'm usually around here." And roll me anybody who's interested, who notices. You all notice there's another guy here who's talking to you, an old guy. Roll me a history check.
Yeah.
Everybody or just Belvari?
Everybody. Y'all are all there. There's an old guy standing among you.
I got an 8 with
11.
guidance.
14 for Toll.
18 for Inkatink. I'm on fire.
If you're on fire, we should probably put you out.
What'd you say, Matt?
11.
Okay. None of you recognizes this person exactly, but Toll, in context, you're in this teleportation circle, and man, he looks familiar.
Is it Morris?
You can find out if you want.
I'm gonna say Morris.
And he says, "Hello again, young man."
Inkatink is going to charge angrily and quickly up to this guy and say,
Toll is gonna try to intercept that if he can.
Y'all work that out. I want to hear.
All right,
Toll's not gonna try to physically restrain Inkatink, but he's gonna try to get between them.
do you want to make like a strength saving throw to see if you can just keep, like, if you make a strength check and it exceeds my strength score, then you can check me?
I mean, are you making like you're gonna attack this man, or are you just trying to get
I haven't raised my hand to cast a spell. I haven't raised a weapon against him. I'm just
All right,
marching quickly, angrily towards him.
I'll let you do your thing, but I'll keep an eye on you.
Okay. I slit his throat. No. So he gets squared up to this guy and says, "Where is Nino?"
And you're aggressive. Your posture is aggressive towards him. He kind of does this old man sort of chuckle. He's a very old guy. He does this like old man sort of chuckle and taps your beak and says, "Go to sleep." And you do.
Oh
Inkatink
boy.
is asleep on the ground. The old man turns to Diamondback and says, "I have a message for you, young man." That's right, you're a snake.
Diamondback flicks his tongue at the man and listens.
And he reaches into his cloak that he's wearing and pulls out a small roll of paper and holds it out to you, Diamondback.
I don't have hands.
I'm just telling you what he does. This would all make sense if you knew other things.
Diamondback the snake heaves a sigh,
Cry.
and turns back into Diamondback the human wizard. Sorry.
Snake side kind of sounds like a sausage sneezing.
I definitely heard Dwight say that twice, once from Sir Robert and again from Josh, as a much louder echo.
You want to mute for a sec, Josh?
Yeah, so I waste another snake power. No, I didn't waste it because I survived, I guess. But
That's
and I would have survived another one of those attacks or several. But sure,
you
yeah.
survived this guy's attack.
I turn into Diamondback and I say, I don't know you, sir. Who's the message from?
And he says, from your good friend Yoshka.
I take it, I open it, and I read it.
All right. I'm going to send you the message. I'm going to text it to you, Matt, and I'll let you play out whatever you want to say to the others. Give me 1 sec. What is the... there it is. And the old man says, wait, actually, sorry. He doesn't say anything yet. Matthew Talamini, there it is. All right. You can feel free to read the message to everyone, or you can convey it how you like. But Diamondback, you noticed, well, I won't tell you anything about it. Go ahead.
I blink a number of times. Blink, 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 blink. Look down and read it again. I say to whichever of my friends is closest, I suppose
They're all
Tall.
there.
Is Tall around? I want to ask Tall something.
Yeah, they're all right there with you.
Tall, do you know where... Actually, do I remember where Dasan is?
No, you don't know anything about that, except
Okay.
you have heard that once before. Roll a history check, and I'll tell you if you. I'll remind you if you need it, or you might remember on your own.
Hold on. I have heard, yeah, it is one of the coven, but it's not one that we've been to.
Right. Do you want to roll it, and I'll tell you a little if you.
Yeah, you roll it. We'll see if you tell me any more. No, I don't. I get a 9.
Okay, but from what you told me, I'll clarify the memory you had. The phrase you remember is Fa, the shadow of Dasan. You also have a recollection. Sorry, you also have a recollection that he was once called in your hearing the leader of the coven.
I say, Yoshka says that they have taken a different path and that we should not look for them. He says that they're in Dasan and that they'll return, and asks that we please hang his pants up to dry. Which I suppose when we get back, I will do.
And Diamondback, roll me an Arcana check.
$11.
Yeah, that's fine. You notice that this is 25 words.
Old man, How did you come by this message?
He laughs. He seems to find this kind of amusing in an old man way. He finds everything. He just seems to be sort of good natured and says, "Well, I took your message to Yoshka and then asked him what he wanted me to write down and bring to you. So here it is."
Can I do an Arcana check to see if that's the way that this spell actually works? There's some Jack Frost who does it.
Absolutely. I love the way you said that. And roll it with advantage because you're familiar with this. You've used this before.
Is a Jack Frost like a Jack dice?
13.
This is not the way this spell works.
I say, that's not the way that spell works.
And he leans forward and says, "True, but rules are rules."
Diamondback says to the man, "Since my village was destroyed by the Iron Bell, I have every so often encountered very powerful denizens of the world around us. Ancient creatures, great sages, magic users, ancient beings of great power. And I ask them the simplest questions that a child could answer if a child had such power. And they tell me cryptic nonsense."
Well, you didn't ask him a question.
If I were to ask you a question...
That was a great interjection, Cole. I love that.
Diamondback glares at Tull. If I were to ask you any kind of question, would you also mock our suffering by giving me a cryptic and useless answer?
He thinks for a moment and somberly says, "I would never mock suffering, but a man wrapped up in himself makes a very small package indeed."
I see a confrontation coming, sir, between my little group of ragtag friends with our small powers and some larger powers, but still, compared to yours, you who seem to walk between worlds as though it was nothing, who have a power over the ethereal plane, the like of which none in my magical tradition have ever even considered could be possible. Please, will you come to our settlement and help us to defend ourselves against the Iron Bell when they come, and help us to create a way of life that is not entirely based on murder and slavery, but only the murder part."
Super low threshold.
No, he has he's taking what you're saying very seriously. And he says, "I won't come with you. It's not allowed. But I will help you."
Thank you. Wait, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna make a wisdom saving throw for Diamondback. um, yeah, no. Diamondback says, "And who invented this rule which disallows you from helping? And may I please speak to them?"
Inkatink snores and kicks and scurries on the like kind of rustles on the floor.
He, this guy, thinks for a minute and says, "I'm taking." He's very serious. He's treating what you're saying seriously. He has a serious tone. He's not amused at this point. He's being genuine to you, and he says, "There are lots of things going on in lots of places, and damage can be done by telling things out of turn. The rules that I'm following, that they're boundaries that were put on me by my father. You can talk to him if you like, but I can't help you with that."
Yes, where may I find him?
I can't help you with that. There are boundaries of what I can do, and there are boundaries of what he can do. We have to follow these rules, or else all of you are in much worse danger.
Excellent. What is your name and what is his name, and how may I contact you in the future?
My name is Morris, and he winks at Toll and says, "You already know that," and towards Toll, and says, "My father isn't known here, but sometimes he's called Oben."
Oben. Oben Kenobi. Um, great. Diamondback says, "And the help you offer."
I'm sorry, say that again.
Diamondback says, "And of the help you offer."
"Some I have already given you," and he reaches a hand out and taps Toll's staff. He says,
Indeed, Toll's power has been greatly useful, and I thank you.
and he says, "Others you don't understand all the way yet," and he taps the little scroll in your hand, the message. That's a help he's given you, he's claiming. And he says, "Also, I can tell you this," and he thinks for a moment, as though he kind of furrows his brow, as though to decide whether or not what he's saying violates the boundaries set for him. And he says, "It's true. It's true what they said." Sorry, I gotta find it. He says, "It's true what they said. They are in the place they are calling Dasan, and they will return with more help." But I'll tell you this, and then I should go. While you were gone, the Iron Bell has attacked your city. The wizard Garriott held them off, but only just barely. There were casualties. More will come. You will need to take some kind of action, because you will not survive if you only try to survive their attacks. And then I will also tell you this, and he furrows his brow again. He clearly seems to be trying to tell you some things, but has boundaries on what he's permitted. You can tell that he's like skirting some lines and trying to do the right things, but also it's hard. And he says, I will tell you a few more quick things. First, the help you have is helpful, but it won't win the day. Second, the help you're going to get will seem hurtful, but will win the day. Maybe. And third, and this is the hardest part, and he looks to Toll, because Toll, you remember that he told you this before. Once you hear him say it, you remember, you've heard this from him before. He says, this is the last help I can give you right now. My father says to tell you all, do not be afraid of the death ahead. There is life in the death if you can bring yourselves to make the harder choice. And then he pats the unicorn right on the neck, and he and the unicorn walk through the wall of the tunnel.
Oh man.
Out of here.
Bye.
And he's gone.
Does Inkadink wake up?
Nope, still asleep.
Diamondback being
I think we want to go.
What'd you say,
being bipedal again, picks up Inkatink
Yeah.
and continues out.
All right. It takes you, as always, it's hard to tell how long you've walked in these tunnels. You feel like by the amount of trudging and chatter that you do, if there is much, you feel like it's maybe taking you half an hour. But after about that time, you see a light. It's what you recall. And at the end of this, you walk out and find yourself once again in the familiar cage of the auditorium of the Black City. There are several guards in the room, 3 guards sitting there. They're talking. You know that they have been stationed in case a portal opens. One of them, as you see as you start to come out, one of them runs out of the room to go, alert someone, presumably. The other 2, on seeing you, operate the cage, and the long, spindly arm of it slides up, as you've seen happen before for this, creating a doorway that you can exit from this. They recognize you. Where have you all been?
In a great cloud of darkness.
They don't know what to make of that, but they're respectful, but they're also wearied and beleaguered.
Have y'all seen any liches recently?
One of them thinks for a minute and then says, sir, I don't know what that means, but if that's the Iron Bell, then yes.
Oh no.
They were here. We fought them.
Well, that's good. Liches are much worse than the Iron Bell.
Both of them are a little deflated.
I tell them, don't worry, he's afraid for nothing. The Lich has been banished for good. It will never return.
And no one in the room believes him.
They,
Inks rips a huge.
the guy who left runs back in, this time with Garriott. And Gevel, if you remember, he has an orcish attaché, kind of the leader of the sort of mayor or whatever of Miradau. And he comes back in and says, "You've been gone so long. So much happened. in fact, you've been gone, by your estimate, about 2 to 3 days. It's hard to know for sure.
How long has it been? It seems to us like it was 2 to 3 days.
And he says, yes, I don't know exactly, but a half a week. But in that time, a number of people have died. We've fought off the Iron Bell. They came with 16 men, which was the same as outside of Miradau during the False Night. But this was much harder because they could just run up the walls and into the city. Able to overpower them, but five men died.
Have we made any progress on excavating the walls?
Yes, we've set ourselves exclusively to that since they attacked. We've actually man and woman who didn't need to tend to essential things and now excavated a good 6 foot deep trench all the way around. We think with another 4 or 5 days, a week, we can get it to the full depth with everyone working on it. Day.
Excellent.
Delvari will immediately leave and go scouting
Outside.
toward, where the Iron Bell.
Okay.
Yes, did any escape?
You come out, when Belvari, you come out, and the rest of you can see through the doorway there. It is early afternoon. You had lost all sense of time where you were, daytimes.
Mm-hmm.
But it is early afternoon, so you've got a few hours, 4 or 5 hours till evening. Garriott says to you, Diamondback, we don't think any escaped, but they came in force, ready to attack, so they knew we were here. They were not.
They had already lost one patrol.
Yeah. We don't know how they know, but they came ready to attack. And you know how they work. If 16 came this time, next time it'll be 32 or 64 or some large number. They don't.
Yes. Give me their bodies.
He says, you'll have to find them. Haven't completely finished cleaning up for it.
I will take care of it.
Sorry, go ahead.
I shall manage the burial of the dead of our enemies.
All right.
Burial.
Yeah, he's not going to bury them.
That's right. Y'all can tell Garriott is exhausted, and he always had, in the time that you've known him, has had a little bit of a limp. He has a cane that he uses. He's limping much harder.
Mm-hmm.
He's weary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. I'm just rolling a couple of things here.
So, we definitely need to strategize if there's going to be a big battle. Hopefully we'll have a little downtime before the battle where we can tell the DM, we want to do this to the town and we want to do that to the town to prepare. Is that going to be the case?
Yeah.
Because I've got an idea that has to do with, for instance, this ever-smoking bottle plus this lantern of revealing. Like, I want the Iron Bell to come up and say, Yoshka, or whoever can do the worst attacks, holding the lantern of revealing to, everybody. Oh yeah, no, we've got battle tactics we can do. We've got stuff. We have to look at our magic items. We have to take inventory. We have to figure stuff out. We should talk to Garriott. We should plan. but like
You've got 84 potions and poisons and ointments.
with the with
We're
a few
gonna
people
three
that can like do like as a snake, I've got blind sight. There are others of us that can see sort of magically.
An army of trees.
That's amazing. That's incredible. Yeah, we're gonna have an army of trees. We're gonna have an ever smoking. We're gonna funnel the iron bell into a particular area or wherever they come up. We're gonna toss this ever smoking bottle in there, and then everybody that has blind sight or can like see in the dark just goes in there and just kills people.
Josh, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, it's going to be a KZ, a kill zone. Inkatink will have the bat on top of his head, and he'll be running around in the smoke, just flying.
An air elemental in there, just murdering.
Yep, I'll be flying above.
Skeletons shooting arrows in. Oh,
yes.
I'm gonna make skeletons, and they're gonna ride on Tull's trees. So the trees are going to go stomping in, smashing, and the skeletons are going to be shooting arrows from on top. Pew, 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 pew.
So we're going to try to use mold earth to lure these guys
to the trees. You have to convince the trees that they want to do that. I don't have much control over them anymore.
Oh, really?
Or just put the trees in the right place, and when the iron bells go up, the trees start killing.
Yeah, I mean, the trees are friendly to us. I can't order them to do things.
I think they'll do
We'll
what
have
we
to
want
ask them.
in the right place. They might feel a little used and leave afterwards, but
Leave, get it,
Make like a tree
and split.
and get out of here. Whatever. I think that's a great idea. I'm happy to, if y'all want to do some of that now, that's fine. Or it's 9:40. We could go till next time. But if you want to make your plans, I will put in a Google sheet in you'll have shared party pouch, and I'll put all the potions and whatever, and we can talk about it for next time. You should anticipate the imminent arrival of a large contingent of Iron Bell.
What do we think? Like a day, a week?
Less than a week, probably, based on how the Iron Bell works. It's been 2 days since the last one was here. If they had won, surely somebody would have come back with word. That's kind of the basic idea. So another has been sent, probably, and are days away.
I mean, I think that we're going to want druids to go out and harry them on their way in. At the very least, those of us that can do a fireball, can do a couple of fireballs a day, should just pop up, fireball, split.
that's true. I need to intercept them as early as possible and from midair flying. But I have to do it when they've yeah. If I do it too soon, they might turn around and leave.
We should definitely be doing some.
What is the problem with them turning around and leaving?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do you wake up Inkatink to actually allow him to be part of this?
Well, this is over the day, over the rest of the day. I guess we're going to be planning and thinking about
You
this.
wake up from a long rest. So
Okay. I think Inkatink basically offers to himself.
Inkatink, you wake up fully relaxed, completely healed, all restored, everything's good, with 6 temporary hit points that'll last you 2 days.
Nice. I think Inkatink offers to leave now and to go and basically try to maintain a perimeter with his bat, and he talks to Belvari and Toll and basically asks them, if you guys can each get a bird of prey and I can get my bat, can we basically sweep the skies, find them as early as possible, and I'll spend... What's that? Yeah. Search the canopies. Search the canopy. And as soon as these Iron Bell are found, I'll spend the next 20 minutes flying above them, blasting them with a whole bunch of fireballs, a whole bunch of magic missiles, and then a whole bunch of cantrips.
Remember
And
that they will probably also have spells that they can use against you. You will not be impervious.
but Inkatink has invisibility and haste, which means
Invisibility is
that
going to go away as soon as you cast an offensive spell.
true, but with haste, I can fly so quickly that I can, if I cast invisibility and I circle around and I show up and I cast the spell and then fly way far away, they might not even be able to hit me because I'm up in the air. And so I can hit them down below. And then as soon as I fly away, they're trying to hit from a hypotenuse, and that's even longer than they can reach me on. So he can do that and circle around multiple times, right? That's Inkatink's tactic for flying and hitting them with long range spells, burning invisibility. At least he can do that a couple of, several times and still get out of there reliably and fly back and rejoin with the group. Or we can just do that to them when they're in the kill zone, and that can be part of how he contributes to the kill zone. Do we want the kill zone to be inside the city or outside the city?
I think that we need to get the druids out there to do some tracking. We need to see that we need to get a map of the path that they took towards our city. We need to
Touché.
get a map of our surroundings. We probably don't have enough time to do any real terrain work, like building a
Pit.
system of trenches or anything. But we do have the pit.
Toll can use the marvelous pigments to make a pit.
Toll, your marvelous pigments. Make
Holy.
us a system of trenches.
Oh my word. Dude, we can make a bridge, and when everybody is on the bridge, the whole bridge collapses or something like that.
Maybe.
I don't know how much control I have over the physics of the thing.
You can at least excavate much more quickly than anybody else.
Yeah, I can
painting
do.
holes.
I think I can do 1,000 square feet. No, I can do 10,000 cubic feet of drawing. And it takes 10 minutes to do 100 square feet. So given a day, I could probably loop the whole town.
You actually can do 20,000 cubic feet because you have two pots. Remember you rolled it?
Oh, I did not know that. That's good to know.
I think the box has two pots in it, and it says each one is for 10,000 cubic feet.
Is that it's fully used, or you can write a little bit at the end of the day or anything?
Each pot is sufficient square feet of a surface, which lets you create inanimate objects or terrain features such as a door, a pit, flowers, trees, cells, rooms, or weapons that are up to 10,000 cubic feet. So each pot is sufficient to do that. It takes 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet. So it takes an hour, 100 minutes per pot of full painting.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we need to make a big moat, as big as we can, around our whole city.
Also, just for whatever it's worth, you can't make stuff of significant. It'll look right, but on close inspection, actual super fancy diamond.
Gotcha.
I'm just reading what it says.
But it may be a real, actual, super fancy moat that they could fall into.
Yeah, and it's not nothing's. You can't make things that are like to Toll's point about controlling the physics of it. He can't make a flawless diamond.
Or
He can make
bridge that collapses and you snap your fingers.
He doesn't have that fine all of certain things, but he can, as it says, create inanimate objects or terrain features, such as a door, a pit, flowers.
A door's a simple machine. So
Yeah, kind of stuff. Anything he could paint reasonably, it'll make a decent, version of
I
it.
would
That's
like
realistic.
to imagine a perfect operational but trebuchet, but it looks like it was drawn by like a 6-year-old. But it works. It just
That's right.
it
It's not worth much though.
yeah. but that would be fun to imagine. I'm
Yeah.
imagining it right now, and I'm having fun.
So Toll, to give you a sense of that, if you made it, excuse me, if you made the pit 10 feet wide and 10 feet deep, you could make it 100 feet long, and you could do 2 of those.
They could just go around that. How big of
Yeah,
a
we might have to get a
our-
little more creative.
our settlement is? How big? Miles.
It is. I can tell you. Give me 1 second.
I've got it. We lure them to the point where all the peasants are on the other side of a wall, and then all the peasants push on the wall, and we shove the guys into the pit. We use the superior numbers of our peasants, and we 3 amigo them.
You know, Sir Robert, I don't know that. So the way I'm reading this, the third dimension of the thing that I draw is not. It doesn't use the paint.
Right.
Because
But
I can cover 1,000 square feet of a surface,
and you're
but it
painting
can
like
be up to
flowers.
10,000 cubic feet.
I have a different idea.
Right. Sorry, real quickly, just to say, so if you painted flowers on the entire 1,000 square feet, I'm open to figure this out. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to do the best I can. But
Yeah.
If you paint 1,000 square feet of flowers, like on the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, your math does check out 10 by 100.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you could fill a volume.
So how about this? Let me suggest this instead. We already have some kind of moat around basically the whole city, right? What if we use Tull's power? Can you make walls? Can you paint a wall?
Yeah, I can.
Dude, he can make crocodiles, right? Can't he just draw a saltwater crocodile?
We don't, but I mean,
No,
that'll help
yeah.
a little bit, but not that much. No, what if we picked a city block and we connected all the buildings in it with high walls to make a castle? So then we have a Mott and Bailey approach where we have an outer perimeter and we try to defend the outer perimeter at the moat. But then once they breach the moat, everybody retreats to inside the castle behind Tull's walls. The
Right.
painted on walls, and then we defend it from in there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to figure out like how big of a castle can we make, and which buildings are already very defensible.
And we
then
can make
need to put it around there.
and we can make crossbows for all the peasants, so that every single person is armed with a weapon.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to have time for that, but we might be able to get some slings going, have people gather up stones.
Sure, I mean, the fantasy of it, whatever they're capable of firing.
Yeah. I think I like the castle idea, and we should gather up a bunch of food inside the castle and let in case they put us under siege. Diamondback also wants to gather up as many of the ingredients for heat metal as he can, just to equip as many people as are able to cast spells with the heat metal spell, because the Iron Bell has armor, they have metal weapons, they're extremely susceptible to heat metal, as we found out before. but I've only got a couple of charges left of it, like maybe one charge left.
If we build the right walls and pickets and stuff like that to funnel them, then we can also draw a giant cauldron and we can pour hot oil and dump caltrops and stuff. There's all sorts of
Let's
nasty.
draw a pot of pitch
Yeah.
all along the wall or whatever.
Yeah, we can do that. Something
just-
like that.
All the peasants having large stones to throw down. These guys are going to have to start just dodging stones, and if they get hit, it's going to do bludgeoning damage. So
I think
basically,
go ahead.
I was going to say, we've got a lot of peasants, so it seems like the Mott and Bailey, the moat, and just doing something to make all of these people dangerous. If everybody's really dangerous because we give everybody a pike or we give everybody a rock, just what I think that'd be a good thing to come up with a clever idea.
Yeah. The Iron Bell has never had to assault a stone castle before. This will be a completely new military technology here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Nobody has built tall walls of stone before. We're going to be a new thing on the earth. We're going to destroy them. We're going to kick their butts. It's going to be like the Battle of Agincourt. Not really.
That's right, or Jericho.
Wait a second.
We are not naming the castle Jericho.
If we do, make sure you're the architect, and I don't want my firstborn son.
That's right. Something better like AI or something. Okay.
I'm gonna head
All right, so Robert, so
left.
your unfortunate task for the next 2 weeks is to figure out the math behind all that stuff we just said.
I will do so. And remember, next week is Arbor Day, so we're skipping next week.
Everyone plant a tree.
That's right.
I thought it was Labor Day.
That's the joke.
What is
Oh,
Okay, plant a labor.
no. I like Arbor Day better. I will observe Arbor Day.
Arbor Day? Let me give you some experience.
The distant future.
Nice.
All days are the future.
The year 2000.
Oops.
And presumably I go back to my normal HP after a little while.
It is the future. All trees are now sentient.
Toll has turned them all sentient.
All right.
Barking up the wrong tree is a crime punishable by death.
You each get $1,740 experience.
Nice.
I'm putting in
1740.
1740.
Oh my goodness, I'm so close to level 6. Can I go hunting for one day? I just need to shoot some deer.
You know, if you just stick around, somebody else will be hunting you.
That's good. That's good enough. I got fireballs and invisibility.
Yeah, seriously,
All
we
right.
need to start farming for XP. We are deadly with good preemptive tactics.
Over the next week, I will give you some information, including some schematic information of the city, pigment stuff, the potions and oils and poisons and all that you have. Put your magic items and so forth, and you will be able to make whatever plan you like. I'll give you a map of the city that you can pick where you want to do stuff and draw on it and so forth. Does that sound good?
Nice.
Great.
So 2 weeks
Awesome.
there.
Yep. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for playing. And thank you also for listening. I noticed our YouTube channel. I don't know who they are, but we have apparently 16 subscribers.
Mm.
Thanks to our YouTube subscribers. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
2 of them are me and LT. So
Counts.
Well, I'd like to give a special shout out to a couple of fun guys, Dwight and LT.
you're 4 of them.
Okay, so Robert, should I click the stop button?
Let's do it.